So I chose George Washington Carver as my chemist, and I wrote like 3 paragraphs worth about him and his facts and different types of info. George Washington Carver was an agricultural chemist that produced goods and products using peanuts, soybeans, and sweet potatoes. He was born on a farm in Missouri on January 1st, 1864, and he was born into slavery just a year before it was abolished. He left home at a young age to pursue education and eventually earned a master's degree in agricultural science from Ohio State University. And he went on to teach and conduct research at Tuskegee University for 47 years. And he played a huge part in developing the department into a strong research center and working with 2 additional college presidents during his tenure. 9 years prior to George's birth, Moses Carver, a white farm owner, purchased George's mother for when she was just 13 years old. And when he was a baby, his mother, and his sister were kidnapped from the Carver farm by one of the bands of slave raiders from Kentucky that went around stealing slaves from their farms and plantations during the Civil War era. And George Washington Carver or no, Moses Carver hired a neighbor to retrieve them, and they only succeeded in finding George, in which Moses Carver uh, traded one of his finest horses in return for George. And George grew up knowing little about his mother or his father, and his father died just before he was born. And Moses Carver and his wife Susan raised George and his brother James as their own and taught the boys how to read and write. At age 11, Carver left the farm to attend an all-black school in the nearby town of Neosho. Um, in 1896, Carver earned his Master of Agricultural degree and immediately received several offers. The most attractive came from Booker T. Washington, and Washington convinced the university's trustees to establish an agricultural school, which could only be run by Carter if Tuskegee was to keep its all-black facility. Uh, Carver accepted the offer and would work at Tuskegee Institute for the rest of his life, this being 47 years. And Carver set to work on finding alternative uses for these products. For example, he invented numerous products from sweet potatoes, including edible products like flour and vinegar, and non-food items such as stains, dyes, paints, and writing ink. But Carver's biggest success came from peanuts, believe it or not. And in all, he developed more than 300 food, industrial, and commercial products from peanuts, including milk, Worcestershire sauce, punches, cooking oils, and salad oil, different types of paper, cosmetics, soaps, and wood stains. He also experimented with peanut-based medicines such as antiseptics, laxatives, and goiter medications. So he tested a lot of different things and had his own inventions, a lot that associates with cooking. And some of George Washington Carver's best-known inventions include crop rotation, or planting different crops to restore oil instead of single crop farming, and creating 300 different uses for peanuts.